Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. And in this video, we're going to be looking at the first episode in the Ken Burns documentary on Jackie Robinson. So if you do not know who Jackie Robinson is, well, don't know where you've been. He was the first African-American baseball player. So the first episode, which is the only one I'm covering, there are two. This came out in, when did this come out? All right, looking online. 2016. So this covers his early life up to his rookie season in Major League Baseball. So, and I can't remember what team he was on. It was a little bit since I watched this, and I'm not a baseball expert. It is a sport that I grew up with. My dad plays softball. He's a big baseball fan. So is my husband. Though my dad prefers to play. My husband's far more into the statistics. So, so this covers how he played football at college, and he left once his last football season was over. Because he wasn't a great student. He was great at all sports. He played football, he played baseball, he played basketball. I don't think he played soccer because that wasn't the thing they did. It wasn't a big sport it's not a big sport in the United States, so it wasn't a big thing for the schools. He got a scholarship. I don't know if he was I don't think he fought in World War II. I think he might have been too young. His brother did. And it definitely talks about how his brother came back similar to a lot of African Americans after fighting in World War II, and they were still treated like crap. The only job his brother could get was a street sweeper. And his older brother was great at all sports as well. So both boys were fantastic at sports. But so it talks about how, Jackie got into UCLA. He played football, he played baseball, he played basketball. But once the seasons were over, I think UCLA primarily just played football. He was done. So he left, and then he just started kind of doing other work. Can't remember exactly what he was doing. Eventually, no, he did join the Army. I don't think he went overseas, but he did join the Army. And eventually he just, again, there was the racism, and he joined the Army to continue to play sports. And he played baseball. Or actually, no, he wanted to play baseball, but they wouldn't let him. And he did, there was I don't know if he was still in the military at the time. He was a big boxer that had been in the Olympics and everything. And he was able to get him to play on the baseball team, but they still treated him like crap. So he was able to get an honorary discharge and went and played in the Negro Leagues. Now, one thing that I just remembered, his brother ran track in the Olympics during World War II. He came behind Jesse Owens. He was the silver medalist at the Nazi or Hitler games. And he still was treated like crap, unfortunately. And that was the way it was. And it sucks. You got a bunch of soldiers who got back from, African-American soldiers, who got back from World War II, and they had served their country, and their country treated them like garbage. Yeah, not a good thing. And they still do. That has not changed, nonetheless. So it goes through how Jackie Robinson played in the Negro Leagues, and he hated it. And then it goes into, and I cannot remember the name of the man. It was the Brooklyn Dodgers. They're now the LA Dodgers. But the head of the Brooklyn Dodgers wanted to bring in black players. So he started looking into it. Then the current head of the baseball association, who Landers, uh, whose first name I can't remember, he's very much known for the Black Sox scandal, which where you had Shoeless Joe Jackson, and they were um the what was the White Sox were kicked out of baseball for gambling. So, and Landis was extremely racist. So Landis dies. The new guy in charge is not as racist and is open to it. So the head of the Dodgers starts sending some of his recruiters to look at the Negro Leagues. Now, the thing about Robinson was he was a hothead. He got into fights. He did not like being insulted. But he was a decent baseball player. He wasn't the best. He wasn't the best at all. But he also had charisma. So they liked him. They invited him to Brooklyn, New York. And he talked with the head of the Dodgers, and the guy's like, you cannot let this affect you. You cannot fight. And he took him through all the scenarios that they expected him to face on the because of the racism. And he didn't flinch. So he went to Canada and was on their minor league team and did pretty well, except for he had some issues on away games. He had gotten married by this point, and that was one of the other things. He had met a girl in UCLA. She was very intelligent. They briefly broke up when he got into the army because she thought he was being obnoxious in some of his letters. But when he left the army and went back to San Francisco, which is where his family was, they reconnected and they got married. So that was the other reason they picked him, is because he was stable. He was a married man. So he went to Canada. He played for the minor leagues. He did very well. Again, he wasn't the best of the Negro players, but he was a family man and he had children, and he was putting up with the abuse. The head of the Dodgers actually had two others that he was looking at, that I don't know if they were on their minor leagues teams or not, and they were better players than Jackie Robinson. But then the U.S. government started pushing for integration. And so the head of the Dodgers, who was trying to make this, he was trying to earn more money in a sense because he wanted to be the first. So they pushed a big thing and made Robinson part of the major league teams. It goes through his rookie season and how very much he was abused. And they do interview his wife. And she talked about how they couldn't stay at the same hotels and they couldn't do a variety of other things. And that just reminds me of something else that was part of the him being in the Negro Leagues. When they traveled, and this shows how Jackie Robinson would stand up, they would stop at, say, a gas station, and if they wouldn't let them use the bathroom, they moved on to the next gas station because Jackie Robinson refused to put up with that. And also remember, he grew up in California, which was racist, but not quite as racist as other places in the United States. So, but still. So this, how long is the first one? It's probably about an hour. But it is very interesting. Ken Burns is very well known for his great documentaries. I do not have time right now to cover the second part, maybe at a later date. But this is a really good introduction if your kids like baseball. It's great to show what was really going on. Because again, Jackie Robinson wasn't the best Negro player. There was other great Negro players. And there was a push to integrate baseball. So not really long after Jack and Robinson, they were baseball became integrated. So it was going to be integrated without Jackie Robinson or not. He was just the first. And the owner of the Dodgers was the first baseball owner to push it and to go after black players. So the other ones were forced essentially by the Times and by the government. The Dodgers owner decided this before that. So that's really what makes it Jackie Robinson's special. It wasn't necessarily his baseball playing, though he was a great player. It was the fact that he was chosen as the first and what he put up with without fighting back. And eventually they fell in love with him. So and it stopped to an extent. But that is it for this review. I am finishing up Addie. We'll be moving on to Samantha. It is June 11th, so I'm trying to get Addie done because you guys will be seeing this in July. So we're still reviewing Black history. I have 2 more videos to shoot. One is actually a children's book, so that's going to be an addition reader, and then I'm going to be doing another media video. So, and then we'll be moving on to Samantha, which is completely different. So, if you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe. It helps my little channel grow here, and I will see you next time. Thank you.